We always organized kirtans at our house. Since our father, Bakresheva's father, he was sick. He was lying in bed all day. Therefore, we organized kirtans at our house. But for example, Ambarisha's parents didn't want to allow us to go to their house. Mayradvaja's parents also didn't want, because there was always persecution, intense situation, KGB, and going after devotees, putting into jail, everything. Nobody wanted to go against the law, to oppose them, especially at those times, law and order, KGB, police, everything was very respected. But when devotees came to our house, for example, for kirtan, for prasadam, we had certain knocks. And one day, 6 o'clock in the morning, somebody knocks. Like this. Bakreshev went to the door because this means devotees came. I told him, stop, don't. Who knows, maybe it's some non-devotee. Well, he opened. And how many people were there? I don't even remember. 6 people were there. 2 people remained at the door. 4 came inside, showed us the order, searching the apartment. And all the literature which Yamaraj brought to us, everyone brought. But from our group, Yamaraj only was traveling to Kiev, to Moscow, somewhere, and always bringing many stocks of pictures, devotees' pictures, Vishnupad Maharaj's pictures. At those times, we already had those pictures. We also had Bhagavad Gita on camera roll. And also we had pictures. You know how we read Bhagavad Gita? We had Yaduklesha Vardas, devotee. He was a photographer at those times. Well, not exactly a photographer, but he could take pictures. And he took that camera roll and he made them into big pictures, like photos. And we were reading there. And all the time, the letters, they were distorted or rotated. It was very hard to read, but we were trying to gather to read somehow. At that time, we had those pictures. We had camera roll of Bhagavad Gita, and it was considered that whoever has Bhagavad Gita, they will be put into jail without any court, without any investigation, without notice. And just a few days before this police came, he brought big stock of Ishopanishad books. And everything was in my bedroom, where I slept with children. At that time, I had my second daughter. In '84, she was born. And I was hiding them in my closet. And the first thing that I did, I was thinking that no court investigation, they will put us in jail if they find it. I closed the door from inside, locked it. They started knocking. I said, I can't open to you. I'm not dressed properly. My children are sleeping. While you're searching the rest of the apartment, they will wake up, I will open. I was constantly thinking, I knew that they will come. I knew they will search. The process will take place because the Moscow devotees, Petersburg, Kurginova, they had this. It will come to us as well. And I had special plan, prepared special bags to hide everything in those bags and put them in my neighbor's balcony. We had a balcony, and the neighbor's balcony, you can reach it with your hand. So everything, I put it into those bags, into neighbor's balcony. They came. At last, I opened our door. They said, go out. I said, why do I have to go out? They said, go out, we will peacefully search your bedroom. I said, no, I'm staying, this is my bedroom. What if you will sabotage something? They became angry. But the more I became nervous, I was very much afraid, very much. But the more I was afraid, the more somehow I was opposed to them, telling them something. arguing with them, and I couldn't understand why am I doing this. But thank God, I just knew that my children are lying, and I can perfectly say that they can do anything. Put us into jail. They said, no, you have to go out. I said, no, I will not go out. I said, you know what? Let's do like this. I have 2 small children, paralyzed father in my house. Let's do like this. I will show you everything myself, and then I will put it into its place, because you will make a mess around here and I will have to clean up. They agreed, and in my closet I still had 1 stack of books. I thought, that's it. They will surely find it somehow. I need to do something. So there was my jacket, coats, everything in my closet, and behind those clothes there was the stack of books. I'm saying, look at this, look here, and my hands are shaking, my voice is trembling. I'm thinking, now they will notice. I'm saying, here, you see nothing, here's nothing, here's nothing, nothing. And I'm trying to lead them into the way they won't see the books. And I'm continuing in the spirit, and Krishna mysteriously manifested. They could notice anything. 4 people are standing above my head, looking for books, and they can't see them. I understood that with Krishna's mercy, then nothing and nobody will do anything, will not notice, will not disturb. So this was the scariest that ever happened in our house, and then I became peaceful. Then they started searching our library, karmi books. We had a lot of books, and I still had from Vakreshwara's mother small notebook, like cookbook. She was writing different recipes. They took everything. I'm saying, can you see 4 eggs, this, that, leave it. They said, no, we will check everything and we will return. Everything they could, they took. And they left. And suddenly, I started immediately calling Ambarisha. I said, everything is fine. He says carefully, I have guests. I said, our guests left. So at the same time, they came to Ambarisha, to our place in Mayuradvaj. At that time already, Yamaraj was sitting in jail for half year. When his court was taking place, during the court, they opened cases for Vakreshwara, for me, and for Ambarisha. So, what else can I say? They opened the investigation, the court took place. They were asking such questions, it was so stupid to hear. There was sitting the national judge, the advocate, lawyer, because we didn't have lawyers. They refused. Guys refused from lawyers. They said, we will defend ourselves. So the national judge, the primary judge, attorney, everyone is sitting, and there was a big hall where the investigation started on Monday. So many young people came, because we have a small city and everyone knows each other. Everyone knew that these guys are being arrested for nothing. So the whole room was filled with people. Therefore, the next court procedure took place in the smallest room of the national court. And they closed the door, only for those who are under investigation, no outsiders. So that nobody, because everything was spread, everyone started chanting mantra, saying, try to put me into jail, the big riot. So during the court, the attorney asks the questions. Tell me, have you ever eaten a pig on a stick? They say, we don't eat. Right, they don't eat. Do you eat chicken fried? No, we don't eat. Right, they don't eat. And 6 days it was going on over and over again. No, nothing, no blames. So, during the court, suddenly a phone call. National judge picks up and he says, yes. And we could see that somebody from the above is giving him orders, like put them into jail, 2-day court, and you're doing it for the week. He said, look, how can I put them? How? He was screaming into the phone. He couldn't bear it. So during all of these procedures, there was a recording going on, and they were sending all of this to Sweden. Small cassettes, they were recording. Aditi Dukha, he was recording. At that time, he wasn't Aditi, but he was recording it. So the final judgment, Nachke Beauratari, 3 years. Sharlam Janashot, this Vakreshwar, 2.5 years. Nugzar, 2 years. Chargazia. So everyone received. And then the judge, he read the judgment and then he stood up. If there is God, may He help you. And during the court, he gave blessings because they were doing it even though they didn't want to. They just had orders. What could they do? And of course, we made a complaint to the High Court judge. And during the court, one of the parents of our devotees, you know them quite well. I'm not sure if I should mention his last name. So his mother stood up and started saying, all of you have to be burned. No, they should be put into jail and you should burn the kids. So, very aggressive behavior, this family, because their son became a devotee and they had a daughter-in-law devotee. So after everyone was in jail, one day, of course, the High Court judge didn't consider our complaint, they just signed up the papers. So one day, it was in October, when everyone was arrested, the last who was arrested was Vakreshwar, because he knew that only he has family, he has 2 kids, and they were trying to stretch it for 2 weeks. They were already sent to the zone. And when Ambarish and Mayura, they were arrested, my husband was preparing for police. So when police came, he came inside and said, I'm so sorry, I will be waiting for you. Take your time, say goodbye to your family. He said, okay, no problem. Took a bag and let's go. They were so amazed. So easily, you can spend a minute of your freedom. So in January, I had a letter to go to the court, High Court. I came to the High Court. There was a big room, long table, and many, different judges. They were sitting down. In the middle, there was this very interesting judge, and I greeted them. I came and stood in the middle, and he, across the table, throws the papers at me. The paper fell on the floor. I took it up and I started reading. Such and such is deprived from parental rights. The children should go to the orphan house. So I'm reading it again and again. I can't understand. Is this about me? But with my intelligence, I can't. With my mind, I can understand, but my intelligence was very opposed. And it was signed. All the judges signed this paper. It's not like I was blamed. It's just that there is a resolution. There's a decision has been made that my children are going to the orphan house. I don't know how it happened, what happened. I felt myself very badly. I lost consciousness. The last thing I remember is that I was reading, and then I was already sitting on the chair. They were trying to bring me back to consciousness, putting water. And this man who was sitting in the middle of everyone, he says, why do you need children? Go! Sing, chant, walk away. Why do you need children? My condition was such, I was thinking that my life was lost. I folded my hands and started praying, may the closest person to you become involved in this so that you would understand what it's like. And I left home. I came home and they said, during 2 weeks, the children will be sent to the orphan house. So I collected everything, took the children. What to do? No other option, otherwise they will take the children. Or persuade your husband to write down that I will not chant Mahamantra. That's what they were saying before they would put them into jail. They said, just promise us to not chant. First they said, sign up, but then they said, at least speak out loud that you will not be doing it anymore. The court judge was asking. They said, no, we will not refuse to chant. And last, they told us, either you refuse to chant or we deprive you from parental rights. I came into the zone. I'm telling Vakreshwar, such and such situation, I will be deprived from parental rights. What to do? I myself was very ashamed to ask this, but I had no other option. And he said, no, this is not even up to discussion. I will not. We wrote a letter to Sri Vishnupad, and Sri Vishnupad said, don't be afraid of anything and anyone. Krishna will give us exactly what we can bear. Well, our faith was such that we were thinking, that's it. If Sri Vishnupad told us, then that's what we'll do. But of course, it didn't stop me from worrying, being anxious, and for those 2 weeks, I lost my sleep at all. Every day I was thinking, they're coming, they're coming. After some time, 10 days, 15 days, I don't remember how many, suddenly, somebody is ringing in the door. I'm opening the door, there's a woman. Woman with the short hair, a folder in her hands, greeted me and coming into the house. At that time, my small daughter, she was very chubby and too chubby. But my elder daughter was very slim and very skinny. And you know why they deprived me from parental rights? They said, I don't give my children meat. That's why they're wicked and retarded. This was written. And it was signed up. So my small daughter immediately ran because they had this habit. When devotees came, my small daughter would give the shoes and my big daughter would treat with prasadam. So the elder went to the refrigerator, the small one brought shoes, and this lady said thank you, introduced herself as a social worker. At that time, we lived in a very opulent apartment. We had good apartment and everything was nicely furnished. She came into one room, the hallway, the bedrooms, first, second, third balcony, looking around, and she said, I can't understand what is going on over here. I told her, let me explain. We don't eat meat. We believe in God. Therefore, my husband was put into jail and I'm being deprived from parental rights. She said, here is written, wicked and retarded. She started speaking with first daughter, with second daughter, normal kids. She said, I will deal with this myself. And she left. And I started having this hope. I became pacified, just pacified when she left. I was waiting, waiting, waiting. She didn't come. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, so much time passed. She doesn't come back. Already summer came. Heat. I'm thinking I should go and search for this lady and somehow express my gratitude. At that time, I was cooking, baking some cakes. Of course, nothing in comparison to what nowadays they bake. But I baked a cake, decorated as I can, and I was thinking that I should go and thank her. I went to the city government office. So I came opening the first door because I was thinking I'll be able to recognize her. First, second, third door. I went all around and nobody. I'm asking, you know, this lady was working here with short hair, medium height, dealing with children. She said, we don't have such workers, maybe you should go to the regional department. I went to the regional department. There, I went all around. They said, no, we don't have such a worker. I said, maybe she was working here, but she fired or she got quit. They said, no, we never seen her. I couldn't find her. But something else happened. During the summer, suddenly we had a door ring. And there was standing this handsome young man with a very beautiful girl. She introduced herself, "My name is Diana." He introduced himself, "My name is Arthur." I said, "Please come in." They came in, looking around. I'm looking at this handsome man. I'm thinking, somehow looks similar to me. I can't recognize. He looks very similar to someone I knew. So I treated them with cheese pancakes and berry juice. Arthur loved these pancakes. They left. And they started coming to us every day. And from the door, Arthur was asking, "Are there pancakes with cheese?" And I knew that they're coming, so I every day cooked. And one day she said, "Arakilam, let's go." And I remembered whose face was similar to his. His father was the attorney who deprived me from my parental rights. And to Diana, because she was his girlfriend, they were seeing each other, I told her everything. She was asking so many questions. How? What happened? How can you be alone with kids? You're not working. I said everything is all right. Krishna is merciful. And she couldn't tolerate it. I told her, "Don't tell anything to him that his father did it." She said, "Okay, I won't." And he was coming always, and he was taking my small daughter with the cheeks, and he was saying, "Oh, you little chubby one, chubby one." And one day Diana couldn't handle it. She said, "Oh, chubby one? They are wicked, retarded children." I said, "Be quiet." He said, "Okay, what's going on? Who said that?" He stood up immediately. And then, because he's a very smart guy, he figured it out. He said, all right. Is that my father?" He just figured out everything, that his father put my husband in jail, deprived from parental rights, and during the summer my girl was going in her underwears because it was so hot. He said, "Let's go with me, I'll take her to my house. Dress the child up, quickly." And they were living just across the street, not so far away. We're Ladarya, they're La Surya Street. So he took her by the hand and went. And when he came back, he was describing how when he entered the courtyard, because my daughter is such a cutie, she was so beautiful and chubby cheeks, red cheeks. He would never say they're wicked or retarded kids. So he entered the courtyard, and he was the favorite son of his father. And the father says, "Oh, Arthur, dear, who is this little chubby one with you?" "Who is chubby one?" "See, wicked, retarded child." "How dare you, my son, how can you say?" And he started chastising him. And Arthur said, "Can you imagine, Dad, you deprived from parental rights her mother? Oh, son, there was such a time, this, that." So, since that time, Arthur started chanting mantra slowly. We're going to the river, and all of the Prabhus, they were sitting in jail still. And we were going to the mountains, to Gumistu, to other cold rivers, doing kirtan, prasadam, chanting. So Arthur got really into it, took initiation, and he became Acharya Nidhi. His father opposed him very much, but finally Arthur gave his father an ultimatum. He said, "I take my part of the inheritance." There was a particular amount, I even remember, 18,000, 16,000, it was big money that time. The father had to, he was a lawyer, he knew what law is, so he gave him the amount. And Acharya Nidhi bought in Naimisharanya land along with the village. It was not far away from Sukhumi. There was this village. And they bought this land with house, installed deities, daily worship, and at that time Prabhus came out from the jail, Ambarisha, Mayura, Vakreshwara. So very dynamic services began. So this situation we had with Acharya Nidhi, how he became a devotee. Can you see how Krishna fulfills desires? Vakreshwara was going to the father of Acharya Nidhi, devotee's father. He went there, he bought them groceries, he hanged the picture of Krishna in their house. Who knows what will happen. At that time they were saying, "Oh, Ashot, our dear son, we're sorry, it was such a time." So they understood everything later on, but still.